Hello everybody and welcome back to youtube.com/Seannosaurus Rex and a special announcement video here as we approach the end of January. Today is January 29th, 2024. My name is Sean. This is my channel. Subscribe and ring the bell if you'd like to see more content from me. And then you'll be notified if you hit that bell when this magical, magnificent tournament begins. That's right, folks. It is back. March Mascot Madness returning for its fourth installment. I did it in 2020, 2021, and 2022. I did not do it last year. And then I'm restarting it here in the year 2024. And I am very excited about it. A couple of notes here before we start. We're going to go back to March Mascot. Nope. NCAA March Madness 2005. I've tried other games in the past. Louisville always wins, so we'll just go back to the original. I will look online to see if I can find some tweaks, some slider settings that might work a little bit better so that I can hopefully have a little bit more of a balanced kind of game. This one's a little broken. We see a lot of the play where they run a player down by the baseline, out around to the 3-point. It's like a quick pass, catch and shoot. It can be very effective. That's kind of why I moved away from this game. But I think if we can maybe find some sliders to make that play less deadly, it might balance things out a little bit better because the Louisville pressure defense is just too good in the later iterations of this game. This is going to start for sure on March 4th. I keep getting the date wrong. I should have pulled up the thing. It's March 3rd. March 3rd, 2024 on youtube.com/Seannosaurus Rex. Now, tentatively, and this is incredibly tentatively, I am hoping to try and figure out a way to get a laptop or another computer that will allow me to stream and record and edit by the end of February. That's my goal. I got to be disciplined, focused, and get there. So, my hopeful hope is that February 29th, that's a Thursday, streams will return to twitch.tv/Seannosaurus Rex, and this will be part of the tip-off celebration. It would stream on Thursday, and it would likely stream Saturday. Both of those streams would start around 6 p.m. Pacific time. We'd watch some games, hang out, have a good time. So go over to twitch.tv/Seannosaurus Rex and follow the channel. If you want to turn notifications on, you'll get the notifications on your phone or whatever, wherever you get it. I have Twitch installed on my phone, so I always think I have a lot of notifications. It's just people streaming, which is always fun to see. If you would like to, we're going to follow along here. The bracket, which I realized I did not pull up, so let me pull that up quickly. We're going to go to challonge.com, which is CHALLONGE.com/MMM 2024 for March Mascot Madness. Link is in the description below, so you can follow along. I'm going to show off all of the matchups, and you pick a team that you want to advance, and you full bracket, never mind. You pick a team that you want to advance, and then you submit your picks, and then we have some fun. If it is streamed live on Twitch, you'll be able to watch obviously live, and you won't be spoiled by anything because if you watch the live streams, you'll be caught up day and date. If you watch on YouTube, I would avoid looking at the bracket until the round is complete, or until the weekend series is complete. Otherwise, you might get yourself spoiled on what's happening. If there's a team you're rooting for and they lose, you don't want to know that answer. I will update you at the beginning, in between games 4 and 5, and then at the very end of the video, standings and where people are. So you'll get 3 updates throughout the video, and we'll talk about that as it goes. So, without further ado, now that I am actually prepped, let's jump in and figure out and see the matchups. I haven't looked at a lot. I have 4 hand-picked matchups that I'll point out as we move through, and then the other 30 or the other 28 matchups are totally random, and I haven't really looked at them. I just randomized the list 5 times and then just went for it there. So let's jump over to, where is it? I believe it's this camera right here. This is not an actual matchup. This one, for whatever reason, is the one it always starts with, and it's beautiful. It is beautiful. The Stanford tree, the Syracuse orange, absolute doofus fest happening over here. We always tip off with the same matchup just because I like it. And I thought about, because the Washington Huskies are leaving for the Big Ten, not including it, but they did renew the rivalry, at least in the football sphere, for the next 5 years, with the Apple Cup being played in September this year at Lumen Field, which is a little bit weird, but whatever. We will have, and I'm going to go ahead and we'll just go to Pullman. I don't remember who, I forgot that I flipped these. We will have the Huskies taking on the Cougars in the Apple Cup, or Apple Basket Cup. I'm sure I had some dumb name for it. And that'll be your first matchup. This one is interesting because the Cougars have never won a Mascot Madness game. They haven't. And it's real sad. Our second matchup of the first part of the video will be, or the first part of the series will be, the LSU Tigers. And then they are taking on the Duke Blue Devils. Ooh, if I can mute my mic. Okay, I was trying to mute my mic so I didn't sneeze into your ears, but I knocked the sneeze out by not sneezing. Okay, LSU Tigers taking on the Duke Blue Devils in game number 2. High fives for everybody. Duke has consistently been good. I don't know about LSU. I don't have like my notes for any of this stuff, so it's kind of more of a fresh tournament in a lot of ways. We are going to move on to game number 3, which is going to be, oh my God, an absolute freak. The Dayton Flyers. This is a good matchup because I know both of these teams, Duke, and we are looking at the Memphis Tigers. The Memphis Tigers. This rules. This might be my favorite matchup of the tournament. I love this. The Dayton Flyers are just idiots, and we love here on youtube.com/SeannosaurusRex and twitch.tv/SeannosaurusRex the Memphis Tony the Tigers. Game 4 will be Georgia. I gotta learn my alphabet. Georgia, the Georgia Bulldogs, taking on... Oh, okay, I almost had the wrong thing because we actually have... Okay, interesting. All right. They are going to be taking on Ball State. The Cardinals. I forgot how doofy the Cardinal looked. Just kind of like... They said they were going to count to 3. They pulled the photo shoot, or the camera claps. What am I talking about? They took the photo on 2 rather than 3. Georgia, they were ready. The Georgia Bulldogs taking on Ball State in game number 4. I almost got myself a little bit confused because Georgia Tech, the Yellow Jackets, aka the Buck Bumbles, are going to be taking on the Miami Hurricanes, LM, in game number 5. And I almost thought that Georgia was playing Miami. Almost a big mess, but hey, we saved it. So there you go. That is a match. That is match number 5 in the opening round. So the Buck Bumbles taking on the Miami Hurricanes. That's a pretty good matchup. All right, let's move on to matchup number 6. That is going to be Michigan State, one of, if not the only humanoid mascot in this tournament. I don't like the humanoid mascots. I think they're really bad. USC is a good example. I don't have them in here because I don't like them. Michigan State is a mascot that just is a human. So I like that one. They are going to be taking on UConn, who is under Connecticut. Right here. So a Spartan taking on a naked dog. Didn't even put a basketball jersey on him. I knew that he was naked. UConn was naked in the NCAA football games because I watched Ray Navarre's juniors mascot tournament that he does. I thought that there was a basketball jersey on the UConn Huskies, and there isn't. There's not. And so we get to watch a Spartan fight a naked dog. So that's exciting. Next up, we have a couple of P's. We have Pittsburgh. Okay, this one probably should have been the matchup, if I'm being honest. Just 2 naked animals. But they're not. Pittsburgh is going to be taking on another P in Penn State. Oh, God, I forgot this one was awful. This is nightmare fuel. It's Panthers with Panthers, or Nittany Lions, I guess. I forgot about that. the headgear thing. It's so weird. Hold on. We're gonna just, you know what? Just enjoy this for just a moment while I blow my nose. Hold on. Where's my Elgato? No, that camera. We'll be right back. Just enjoy for just a moment. So we have the Mac Eyes from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia taking on the headgear malfunction of the Penn State Nittany Lions. So that is matchup number 7. And to round out day number 1, going all the way to the A's for Arizona State, the old Sun Devils. Sun Devils taking on, we have a state versus state. Mississippi State. The Bulldogs. Sun Devils taking on the Bulldogs in the end of part 1 of round 1. I should mention quickly that these will be posted in 8 parts. It's 64 teams, 32 games. We will have a third place game because it makes it nice and round in my head. 64 teams, 32 games, 8 parts. No, 64 teams, 64 games. I knew there was something wrong there. 64 games in the entire tournament, 8 parts of 8 videos, and each part will run approximately 4 hours. So there's some of the longer videos, some of the beefier videos that I do here on the channel. I try not to go that long with them, with like regular gameplay stuff, but the Mascot Madnesses are always right around that 4-hour mark. We have some random rosters that go 4 hours in the playoffs, but yeah, these are a very long investment. So if you watch them, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's see. Okay. That is the end of part 1 of the first round. That'll be our first video. Next up, we have the old mascot matchup that my brother and I used to do. We didn't play mascots, mascots versus mascots, but we used to do this matchup just in a football game. It's the NCAA 2001 special. Tennessee is going to be taking on Texas. This means nothing to anyone. This is not like a real rivalry or anything. It could be, though, because both teams now in the SEC, with Texas moving from the Big 12 to the SEC. But this is the NCAA Football 2001 Classic. Tennessee, Texas. My brother was Texas. I was Tennessee. And that we will watch for the opening of of part 2, game number 9 overall. We have a good one in the next matchup, which there we go. Hold on. I stop hitting buttons, please. Syracuse is going to be taking on Colorado in the second game of that video matchup number 10. I forgot about Clemson. What a nice reminder of Clemson. This is a good looking matchup. I like this one. I love the Syracuse orange. I think a lot of people do like the Syracuse orange because it is just such a little goof. It's a weird thing. It does wear a hat. It's very odd. Colorado's buffalo, pretty good mascot. They run a real mascot out, or a real buffalo out on the field, and it looks dangerous every single time. And I mean football field, not a basketball court, because that would be real bad for the court. That is game number 10. Next up, we have the Wisconsin Badgers taking on the New Mexico Lobos. LMN, New Mexico Lobos. A couple of high-fivers again. I saw the Wisconsin Badgers mascot get stuck in a fence in the Cougars, at the Cougars game I went to with my mom and the Beeb. I'm sure I will tell that story in part number 2, so be sure to tune in for that. That'll be up on March, 4th. It starts on March 3rd, so the second part will go up March 4th. So look forward to that story in the future. We're going to move on here to North Carolina. They're typically a powerhouse in the, like in real life. So they might be a solid pick if you don't really know who to pick. But Louisville is their competition. Louisville is a strong contender in these tournaments. They've won the last 3 of them. They play a style of defense that the computer really struggles against. So that might be a good pick if you're a little unsure, if you kind of just, you want to pick the goofy ones, but maybe you want to actually win. Louisville would be might be a good team to pick. Maybe go back and look at the very first Mascot Madness tournament, find the Louisville game. I don't know where it is, so sorry about that, and see how they performed and see if you want to pick. All of those are up. They're very old videos, so good luck finding them. But I did recently make sure they were put in the NCAA March Madness 2005 category on YouTube, because apparently they were just in people and blogs. Whoops. These were some of the earliest streams that I did on the channel. I did week in review for an entire year before I did any extended gameplay videos. And this was that was the point of it, was like, I want to do this tournament and I want that to be the first thing that I did. It wasn't the first thing that I did, but it was very early, and I would like to use this as that restart point for continuing streams over on twitch.tv/SeannosaurusRex. Yeah, so there we go. There's your Louisville Cardinals. A lot of naked animals here in this video. Southern Mississippi. SOU. Southern Mississippi, the Golden Eagles. They are going to be taking on the South Carolina Gamecocks here in... Oh, the Bearcats? I forgot about that. South Carolina Gamecocks in game number 13 of the tournament. So there you have it. A couple of birds, I guess. Yeah, not a whole lot to say about this one. Oklahoma is next. They are another one. I think that's... oh, no, never mind. They're a boomer. I forgot they're a dog. I forgot. I was thinking of Oklahoma State. Oklahoma is the next one that we're going to be taking a look at. Ohio State. Nope. Oklahoma Sooners. And they are going to be taking on the Marquette Golden Eagles in game number 14. So we're almost done with part number 2 here. I do understand this video is a little dry. I try to usually have like stats and more information about the teams, but I don't know where any of that stuff is, and I did not have time to go through and figure out everything. So, yeah, a little drier, on the drier side. I do think that I have had stats in the past and it's really ballooned the length of these videos. I was looking at them today, and there are 4 of these reveal videos, and they range between like 25 minutes and an hour and 5 minutes. So let's maybe try to get a little more consistency out of me in those in these videos. So it might be on the drier side, but thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you're enjoying. Let's see. That is game number 14. Game number 15. I think this is one, it could be kind of a sneaky good matchup as we take a look at the Cincinnati Bearcats. Big doofus right there. And then we'll have we're going the wrong way. The Arizona Wildcats. So Bearcats versus Wildcats. Wildcats with a nice little hat going on there with I think they use like the kind of Skull and Bones logo. I don't know. I don't know exactly what that logo is on the top, but Cincinnati, kind of a big doofy mascot, and that'll be game number 15, and then we will wrap up part number 2 with Utah State. Utah State. Forgot all about that mascot. Taking on the Cal Golden Bears. Should have had the Cincinnati Bearcats take on the Cal Golden Bear. The Cal Golden Bear Cats. So there you go. Just a couple of dorks. Now, if Cincinnati were to win and California were to win, we'll just take a quick look at what that could look like, because that could be a lot of fun. Bearcats, Golden Bears, right there. It could be a round 2 matchup. Moving on, we will take a look at game number 17, which will be the start of part number 3 on, that will be the 10th of March. I'm sorry I'm so bad with these dates. But yeah, this will be March 10th. You'll be able to catch this on youtube.com/SeannosaurusRex. And we will be leading off with sorry, reading the wrong thing there. Where are we? There we are. Match number 17. Alabama, the Elephants, taking on the Georgetown Hoyas. A lot of gray in this one. Hoyas have a hat. Alabama, a popular pick because Elephants rule. Big fans of the Elephants. I think some of the more popular teams are like the Orange, the Crimson Tide. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so you could have like Gonzaga, maybe Washington State, but I don't typically play very well. Washington, I don't think has ever made it out of the second round. So if you're looking at the Huskies and you go, oh, well, the Cougars have never won a game in Mascot Madness, I should probably pick the Huskies. They've never made it out of round 2, if I remember correctly. So they were able to beat the Cougars and no one else. So, this one, there's another couple popular teams. Ohio is a popular team, and I think the Stanford Tree is popular. But, a lot of gray in this one. I know where I'm going. Where are you going? Let me know down in the comments below, or I'll be able to look at your thing, so it doesn't matter. Florida is going to be the away team. They're going to come to Spokane. I didn't actually think about that to make sure that we went to Spokane, but I should have. Because they are going to be taking on the Gonzaga Bulldogs, Gators, Bulldogs from Spokane. That's pretty exciting. There you go. Gonzaga, I don't remember, has played particularly well in this. Florida, I think, has made a couple of deep runs, but I'm not 100% sure. So just tell you what, go back throughout the month of February. Brackets will close, by the way, on Wednesday, February 28th. I will close them probably later in the evening Pacific time. So, just to make sure that they're locked in and ready to go. So, you'll have plenty of warning. I have plans of how to do this in a way that oh, you know what? Yeah, we'll call it there. We'll do that. Yes. Okay. Sorry. I was thinking out loud there. Brackets will close Wednesday, February 28th, probably around 9 p.m. Pacific time, something like that. But maybe if I kind of forget, it'll go into the 29th of February. But just get your brackets done early. You won't have to worry about it. So there you go. I felt like I had a different thought, and then I kind of forgot where I was going. Gonzaga, they'll be at home taking on the Florida. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Just take the entire month of February, watch every Mascot Madness, and then make the picks from there. It's only roughly, let's see, I think there's 5 of them. 3 Marches, 2 Septembers, maybe 3 Septembers. So that's only, what's 4 by 32 hours times 6. 3 times 2, 60. That doesn't make sense. It's a lot of hours, okay? It's roughly, well, no, because you would take, so it would be 32 would be the whole thing. It would be 32 times 6. It would be 100 and some odd hours. I could just do this, but I'm not going to on a calculator. All right. Match number 19. Oh, speaking of one of the favorites, it's not going to be this first one, but the second one is actually pretty popular. We have the Kentucky Wildcats taking on, oh, good, we're going to Ohio. I'm excited about that. We'll give them a home game. There are some teams that I like to try and give home games, and I like to try to make sure that everybody gets a home game. Ohio Bobcats. I love this mascot. It looks so bad. It looks so bad. And the graphic on the shirt is somehow even worse. The Kentucky Wildcats, blue versus green here. And it looks that bad in these games for a long time. But what's weird is NCAA Football 14 has the updated mascot that looks more like the logo there on the side. But the image when you in the team select is that image. It's wild. It's wild. Ohio, a very popular pick because it just looks so doofy. I love it. Speaking of popular picks, I think I missed this one when I was talking about it. We're going to go to the ends, and we are going to take a look at the Northwestern Wildcats. This is a fan favorite, I would say, and they are taking on, another team in the N letters, and that is the Nebraska Cornhuskers. I hate this mascot. I hate it a lot. I forgot that they were in here. It is I don't love the humanoids, but I like mascot variants of the humanoids. So Little Red technically slides in under that. I think there's one more that I think we're about to look at here. This, by the way, this section of the bracket is so good. So you have Alabama, it's going to lead off part 3. You have Florida, great mascot. Hometown, Gonzaga. Ohio, Northwestern. We're going to take a look at the next one, which is, I believe it's Weber, or I think it's Weber State. Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. And Missouri is pretty good as well. If I can find it. Missouri. The Missouri Tigers. Pretty good matchup here. Weber State is one of the goofball ones that I really love. It's not a good looking mascot by any stretch of the imagination, but it has a charm to it that I enjoy. And I think this is another one that's, I don't know if it's super popular, but I enjoy it a lot. So, I like to put a spotlight on them. And the hits just keep coming here in day number 3 because matchup number 22 is going to be the Maryland Terrapins, which is a good mascot by itself. I like it. It would be one of those that's like, oh man, I like this mascot, but who they're playing is frankly even better. And that is the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. I love the Golden Hurricanes, and I don't think they've ever won a tournament game. They are not good when it comes to Mascot Madness. And the idea is that hopefully these teams are all like 99 overall, and it's literally a coin flip of who wins, where it's just whichever luck, bounces whoever's way. But I'm not 100% sure about that because obviously you can see we don't have the ratings here on the screen. But I love this matchup here. This one is a really nice surprise because I didn't look into it super in depth before I started recording this video. This could be the matchup of the tournament. I know I said that earlier. Dayton and Memphis, I think, is a solid matchup of mascots. This one might be just a smidge better. Just a smidge better. And we're going to get even more wild because we are going to our next matchup, which is matchup number 23 or matchup number 7 for part 3, which goes up again on March 10th. We're going to East Tennessee State. I went the wrong way. East Tennessee State. We got the Buccaneers, which I guess technically qualifies as a humanoid, but a Buccaneer feels like a slightly more fantastical kind of character, even if it's not. And they're going to be taking on the Iowa State Hawkeyes. So we have a bunch of good mascots that they aren't necessarily like playing each other, but they're in like one kind of lump video. East Tennessee State, Tulsa, Weber State, Northwestern, Gonzaga, Ohio, Florida, Alabama. Those are some of the heavy hitter mascots that I personally like a lot. So this third part I think is going to be absolutely fantastic. And we're going to round it off with a hand-picked matchup. And I believe this is the Yosemite Sam matchup, which is Texas Tech. Go over here to Texas Tech. The Red Raiders, they are going to be taking on the UNLV Runnin' Rebels for the right to be the Yosemite Sam mascot. Now, I don't know if Oklahoma State's is in here. So there could have been a third, like, cowboy, I guess. But there you go. That is, this is the hand-picked matchup to end out day number 3 of the tournament. So there you go. We'll move on quickly. I just like this because they're so similar. I think it's fun. The Runnin' Rebels kind of looks a little bit like Santa Claus, which I think is funny. And the Red Raiders look a little sad that they're here. Moving on to day number 4, which will post March 11th, 2024. If you're kind of just curious about specific matchups, you can do that. Basically, just take the bracket, divide it into 8 games, and those will be your matchups. So it'll be first round gets broken into 4 parts. I realize I'm saying this super fracturedly, so I apologize for that. First round's broken up into 4 parts of 8 games. The second round is broken up into 2 parts of 8 games, because it's 16. The Sweet 16 is all 1 round, and then the rest of the tournament, which is the Elite 8, Final 4, the third round, the third place matchup, and the championship, that is all 1 video. So once we get out of the second round, it's literally just 2 more videos after that. So it goes real quick once we get to the end. All right, so that rounds out part number 3. Let's move on to day 4, which is the UCLA Bruins take it on, oh boy, Clemson Tigers. That face is so funny. I love the Clemson Tigers. I love them. I'm such a fan of the Clemson Tigers. And they will be leading off day number 4. That's matchup number 25 if you're keeping track. We will move over to Kansas because they are the home team in the next matchup. FGHIJK. There we go. They are Kansas. I don't know why they have trouble keeping Kansas and Kentucky straight. I don't know. I don't know why. Kansas, and they are playing Arkansas. Great video. I threw myself off there. Why are you called Kansas and why are you not called Arkansas? Arkansas taking on Kansas. Game number 2. Not intentional, just a blessing from the mascot gods on high to have Kansas play Arkansas. Razorbacks, Jayhawks. Let's keep this a little more. Ooh, this is a great matchup. This is a fantastic matchup. The Temple Owls are going to be taking on. Now, I will say, Oregon, who is the next team that we're going to be taking a look at. Oregon, how do I... Oh, God, is Oklahoma State in here? I must not have them for some reason. Because you could put Oklahoma State and Ole Miss against each other. But I think there are some better mascots. Oregon's a team that's been inconsistent. It's Oregon, and there's one other team. I can't remember who it is. I want to say it's like Cincinnati. It's like they're like a couple of really good mascots that aren't in every iteration of the mascot tournament or the mascot mode in NCAA basketball games. If you're unaware, which is totally understandable, these games are A, 20 years old, and B, it's a mode buried inside a game that's 20 years old. They have mascot modes starting in 2004, but there aren't enough teams for a 64-team tournament. 2005 is right in the sweet spot where it has like pretty much all the hitters that you would want. But as you go forward, we've used 07 and 09, and I want to see maybe 08 was in there as well, or maybe I just use 09 because 08 and 09 are basically the same game. A couple of the mascots get cut out, so we have to kind of sub in some other ones. So while we have like a core kind of 64, there have been 66 different teams, I believe, that have played in the mascot tournament. Oregon's had to be subbed out a couple of times, which is always a good reason to go back to 2005 because they're a great mascot. I love the Oregon Duck. And I forget the other one. I want to say it's Cincinnati. That's the one that's sticking out to me. But there's another solid mascot that's not available in some of the later games. So 05 is really the sweet spot for it. If we can dial those sliders in, I think we're in for a very, very good time. So Temple Owls taking on the Oregon Ducks. This would be a Sean personal pick of a game that I would look forward to watching because I like both of these mascots a lot. And I like at least one of these mascots in the next matchup, and that is the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Huge fan of the Golden Gophers. Love the logo. I love a mascot with the sport that they're playing. Big fan of that. They are going to be taking on Boston College, which is in the B's, so you'd want to go to the left there, Sean. Boston College Eagles. Not terrible, not awful, but just kind of fine. And that is a matchup there. Hopefully, there's part of me that's like, you missed something somewhere. Because I've been flipping through, looking at some of the mascots, being like, how come we haven't seen them yet? Them. Baylor. Where's Baylor? Okay, they're okay. Ooh, that Oregon State Baylor game's good. Okay. Getting ahead of myself. This one, Baylor is one that I'm like, I don't want to miss this team. I want them in this tournament. I might have to reset everything if I don't have them. I never realized their logo was so weird. And I'm getting ahead of myself. Temple, Oregon, Minnesota, Boston College. Good, interesting matchup here. Kind of a lot of brown. So that's fun. We had the kind of the gray matchup as well. That's like Gonzaga. No, Gonzaga's playing Florida. It was Georgetown and whatever. It doesn't matter. So there you go. That is matchup number 28. Matchup number 29 is opposite ends of the alphabet. We're going to Auburn and the Tigers, and they are going to be taking on the Villanova Wildcats. I went the wrong way in the alphabet, but that's all right. Gives me time to fill and talk and be as charming as ever. Wildcats versus Tigers, cat-on-cat action here for you in game number 29 of this first round. Next up, we have what I would qualify a personal pick. I don't really have strong opinions about either of these, by the way. This is a real good, fun matchup, I think. It is the Oregon State Beavers, and they are going to be taking on those Baylor Bears. I was super worried they weren't going to make the tournament. This is a fantastic matchup. Neither of these mascots look great. Baylor has big old heads. Oregon State's face looks really squished. I don't know what is going on with either of these. And I think the Baylor Bears mascot has that like kind of texture to it. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing. So there you go. Yeah, it's a good matchup. I like this one. Iowa and North Carolina State. That last one that we showed off. Oregon State taking on Baylor. That is matchup number 30. Only a couple more to go here. If you're hanging out here, picking along with the video, we'll have Iowa for matchup number 31. Iowa, the Hawkeyes, taking on North Carolina State. NC State. I love a mascot and a hat. Big fan of that. A weird thing to be a big fan of, but I look at it visually and I go, nice. Very nice. I like it. So the NC State Wolfpack at home against the Iowa Hawkeyes. And last, but certainly not least, it's my mom's two least favorite mascots. They match up to round out round one every single year. It's probably my personal favorite mascot mashup that we do here because I love it so very, very much. Not just because I think she would find it goofy, but because I just love... Oh, we don't have this team. Oh, Sam Houston's in some of the later ones. Okay. Weird. I don't have Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois, I think, had to come in as well. It's Ohio. Why is the Cardinals so far out of frame there? It looked weirdly low. Maybe it's just... No, it's because the tree is so tall. The tip of the tree is where, like, the hand is. Anyway, the Stanford Cardinal, they will be home to Brutus, the Buckeye, and Ohio State. My mom, the story, tale as old as time. We're driving down to a Cougar game. She said, I know that she doesn't like the Ohio State mascot. She doesn't like the Stanford Cardinal. Well, who would you want to win in a game? I say. She looks at me and she says, no one. 0-0 ends in a tie. Everyone goes home miserable. She probably didn't say the last part, but she did say 0-0 tie between these two teams. So to round out round number one, we have the Stanford Cardinal taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. And that concludes our bracket reveal here on youtube.com/SeannosaurusRex. Keep an eye out on twitch.tv/SeannosaurusRex. I'm sure I will make a video if my plan kind of comes to fruition in the way that I want. But what I'm also thinking about doing is running some other mascot tournament like marathon videos on like a Friday or like a Saturday or something when I'm not recording otherwise, and trying to drum up some interest in there. So if you follow over there, you can watch those. You're also welcome to just watch them on YouTube. But sometimes I find it nice when I want to watch a specific content creator and they're just like, hey, just watch this. Funhouse is a channel that I watched for a long time. They did a thing called Funhouse TV, and I would really enjoy just watching those because I'd be like, man, I want to watch them, but I don't know what video to watch. They picked for me. And so I'm thinking about doing some of that stuff over on Twitch, just specifically for this series. I think what I will probably do, depending on how everything works out, is maybe the Friday before, the 26th, before like the brackets close on, no, I'm sorry, that's 26th, the 28th, maybe the 26th. I don't know. One of those days I might just run, cause I do a best of all of the mascot mashups, Mascot Madnesses, too many M's. I do a best of all of them. So I might just put those in a playlist and just run them on Twitch. And then you can watch them there if you'd really like to, or you can watch them by yourself. There's a whole playlist, Mascot Madness, where you can watch everything. I need to go in and probably actually make it two separate playlists and put them in the order that I want them in, which is chronological rather than the most recent, because then you're watching it backwards. I want to flip it the other way. Either way, you watch it. If you do watch it, don't watch it. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out for this video, at least. If you want to just jump in right now, it's a great time to jump in. That's website again is challonge.com/MMM2024, challonge.com/MMM24. Its link is in the description below, along with the Twitch's, or the Twitch, the Instagram, if you want to follow me over there. Check the Videosaurus one as well. There's a lot of things I'm trying to work on in the background to make some of those things more interesting or more useful to people. If you follow on different platforms, thank you so much. If you're just here on YouTube, hey, thanks so much. We'll see you March 3rd, 2024 for the first part of Mascot Madness. It'll be March 3rd and 4th, March 10th and 11th, 17th, 18th, 24th, and 25th. Those will be your 8 days. And then we'll jump into some other things. I think I was talking about it a little bit in the 6 years in running video, where this was the event that is kind of not like preventing other things from happening, but once we get into April, hopefully the content will be a little bit more varied as I work on some back end stuff and get myself a little more prepared to try and expand the types of content that I'm offering. And this was a big part of it. It's not super different than what I normally do, but it's something that I really enjoy doing and I wanted to bring back. So hopefully you enjoy it. We're only going to do it once this year. I used to do them twice a year, March and September. We're just going to do this once. It's a long video series. It takes a ton of time. And every time I did it in September previously, I ended up going on a trip, which was always great because I love going on trips, but it meant that I had to really crunch to get these done, and it was a little rough. So we'll do it once in March. Hopefully you win. If you don't, sorry. But fill out a bracket in the description below. In the description below. Thank you so much for hanging out. Hopefully you followed along if you wanted to, and you enjoyed the content. If you did, subscribe right over here where my hand is, but it's going to be covered by that graphic now, so you can't see my hand. But you can hit that subscribe button. Watch the March Mascot Madness or the Mascot Madness playlist, or check out the best of over here, and we will see you March 3rd, right here on youtube.com/Seannosaurus Rex or on twitch.tv. Thank you for watching. Go Sports.